Jennifer, I really specifically want to drill into this last story that Kelsey mentioned about this whistleblower, John Barnett, found dead of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, according to police. He was right in the middle of providing testimony on this major lawsuit against Boeing. And now a close family friend is telling a Charleston TV station that he told her if anything ever happened to him, quote, it is not suicide. What are your thoughts on this case?
Well, first of all, my condolences to his family. Second of all, certainly law enforcement is going to have to look long and hard at the circumstances. But this is what we know so far. We know that a silver pistol was found in his hand. One of the first things I want to know is, was it his dominant hand? This is always a clear indication whether it was self-inflicted or not. Secondly, we know there was a note in the other hand. What exactly did that note say? We also know he was under a lot of stress and, in fact, had been testifying, and they had to stop that testimony and were reconvening. We also know that he suffered, by his own statements, from PTSD, excuse me, as well as major anxiety events based on everything that was happening with Boeing.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, he was under an incredible amount of stress. I think that, that is obvious looking at the details here. But how relevant is it if someone tells their family or friends, hey, I'm worried if anything happens to me, it isn't suicide? How often do we have a statement like that before someone, unfortunately, is found dead?
Well, I don't know exact statistics, if you will, Natasha, but I will say that it does happen. And certainly most people who commit suicide, it is something that they keep well within themselves. They don't talk to their family and friends. And I can't think of one case where they came out and said something in advance. It just really doesn't happen that way.
Sure.
And so certainly family and friends are quite shocked and surprised.
Yeah, and to that end, we know his former coworkers are saying the whole community is shaken up by this. Also, that they are skeptical about the cause of death being suicide. So, Jennifer, if there are questions like this, is there a scenario where someone other than the Charleston Police Department could take over? Or what do you think needs to happen in this investigation, given this new information?
Well, I think they definitely need to look closely at things like fingerprints, DNA, surveillance camera. Did anybody approach him at that vehicle? All of that is going to be very important. Also, the GSR, in other words, is there gunshot residue on his hand that was used? There's going to be a lot of factors, and I think they're going to be able to prove without a doubt whether it was self-inflicted or whether it wasn't.
It would seem in this case, to your point, forensics are going to be incredibly important. Also, any cameras that were around this hotel parking lot where this took place. Would you say that in this case in particular, with the enormous amount of public interest we're seeing as well, investigators should be as transparent as possible with their findings?
Oh, absolutely. It's so important because, of course, this is something that could take conspiracy theorists, can run away with a story like this. It's very important that they're transparent. I want to know what that note said in his hand. I want to know about the GSR. I want to know if that gun was found in his dominant hand and if there were any fingerprints or anyone else that approached that vehicle prior to him being found.
And finally, Jennifer, in the investigation after the Alaska Airlines door plug blew out mid-flight, Kelsey Kernstein also talking about this. Investigators now saying the surveillance footage of work being done on that 737 MAX jet has been overwritten. Any thoughts on this? Because yes, it is standard practice that things get overwritten after a certain amount of time. But given what happened here, would you have expected Boeing to save that footage before it got deleted?
I would have expected that. Thankfully, there will be some witnesses that hopefully can report on this. Natasha, this is so concerning. And as we know, stock prices have driven down, as well as United even saying they might shun the airline. So there's a lot of damage, if you will, that has already been done. And in my opinion, it should be done because they have got to change the practices at Boeing.
Okay, Jennifer Coffindaffer, thank you so much for your time tonight. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.